students, welcome to physics class, and today we will start our next chapter, motion in a straight line, balanced and unbalanced forces. This we will discuss. Although we have studied about balanced and unbalanced forces in class 8th also. So balanced forces means if there are 2, 3 or 4 forces, but if the net effect is 0, then we will call them as balanced forces. Suppose this is any object A, and suppose if I apply 5 Newton force from your left hand side and 5 Newton force from right hand side, so 5 Newton from this side and 5 Newton from this side, let it be F1 and this one be F2. So total force F will be equals to F1 plus F2. So it will be equals to F1 is 5 plus F2 is magnitude is 5, but direction is opposite, so I'll write it here as for negative direction I will mark here negative sign, opposite direction negative sign. Always in physics, always your negative sign will indicate the opposite direction. Okay, so if I am taking towards right hand side as positive direction, then left hand side will be taken as negative. So 5 plus 5, it will become 0 Newton. Okay, so see, the net force is 0, so we will call that these forces are balanced forces. For example, suppose this is again any object P, and from here I am applying 2 Newton force from this side, 2 Newton force, then from this side 5 Newton force, and from this side again 5 Newton force. So if I see the sum of all F1, F2, let it be F3 and F4. Okay, so this 2 Newton F1 is balanced by F2, so the effect of F1 plus F2 is 0, plus the effect of F3 and F4 will be 0 because both are in opposite direction. Now see here, there are more than 2 forces acting, and see 1 2 3 4, total of 4 forces are acting. But even then, if we talk about our net force, so it will be equal to F1 plus F2 plus F3 plus F4. Okay, so F1 is 2 Newton plus F2 is in the opposite direction of F1, so minus 2, plus F3 is upward. If I am taking upward force as positive, so it will be 5 Newton, plus downward force is minus 5 Newton. Okay, so as a whole 2 minus 2 plus 5 minus 5, so as a whole 0. Okay, so we will say that such kind of forces are balanced forces. And always remember one thing here, that these balanced forces does not make any difference in the state of motion of any object. Means if the object is stationary, if your car is stationary, or if any object that is stationary and number of forces are acting on that object, but if the net resultant force is 0, then we will say that it will not create any kind of change in the state of rest of that object. If object is at rest, the object will remain at rest. If it is moving, then it will continue its motion without any change in its speed of velocity. Okay, and balanced forces can only change the shape and size of object. Okay, but these has no impact on the state of motion of an object. So now we will discuss about unbalanced forces. Unbalanced forces are those forces in which the net effect is not 0, net resultant force is not 0. For example, again I am taking any object, let this object be T, and if I apply 5 Newton force from this side and 3 Newton force from this side, so the net effect is not 0. Your net force, let it be F1 and this force be F2, so your net force will be equal to F1 plus F2. So it comes out to be 5 plus minus 3. Minus indicates the opposite direction. Okay, so 5 plus minus 3 is basically 5 minus 3, that is equal to 2 Newton. So there is some net force that is equal to 2 Newton. Now the overall force doesn't come out to be 0. So it means that these forces are unbalanced forces. They may be acting on the from opposite sides, or even these forces can act from the same side of the object also. See, for example, if I take the same object T, and I say that I am applying 10 Newton force from this side and 2 Newton more force from the same side. So net force F will be equal to F1 plus F2. So it will be equals to F1 plus F2. So it is again equal to 10 plus 2 equals to 12 Newton. Again, our net resultant force doesn't come out to be 0. So we say that these forces are unbalanced in nature. So either the forces, they are acting in the same direction, then they will be unbalanced, or even those forces which are acting from the opposite directions but not equal in magnitude, even those forces will be considered as unbalanced forces. Okay, so dear children, revise this topic and you will get assignment questions later.